All right, time for update number, I guess, 27, week 27. We're just past the 6 month mark, December 8th to 14th. The basic gist is I did nothing. All I did was turn my ads off. It's close to Christmas at this point. I'm going to go through the numbers and then we're going to go through what happened there as well with Etsy, which kind of blows. But let's go to here, custom. We'll go 8th to 14th. And so sales wise, I had 41 orders, 5.6 conversion rate, $79.44. 30% came from me, traffic wise. 70% came from Etsy. Social media is not bringing in anything at all, which is really odd because I figured that social media promotion that I was doing should work, but it hasn't clicked at all. It really does come down to traffic in a lot of these instances. So let's go to marketing. Etsy ads, remember, $79.44. Let's go to custom. Let's go to 8th to the 14th and apply $61, 16 orders. So more than half my orders came from organic, but the rest came from ads. I was running peanuts per day because they'll only give me a $9.84 budget, which is very strange. I do not understand this. So when I go to manage, it always, oh, now I'm up to 200. Go figure. So I just came in here yesterday and it was at 984. And it seems like when you lower it, they lower the amount that they'll give you, even though you're trying to spend as much as possible. I've had that number up to, I think, 500, and I've run 500 a day on the shop, and it spends like 10%, not even, maybe 8, 6, about 7%, we'll call it. 7-8% of the budget is what it'll spend, which is really annoying. So it eliminates a couple strategies too. I don't get that move by them, but honestly, I don't get a lot of moves by Etsy. So let's go back to the all-time numbers and then we'll look at what happened, the real big news. So let's go here and let's go to all-time. So I have 1,511 orders, 7.2% conversion rate. Oh, that's, yeah. But we're actually on the 18th. I'm late with this update. $2,420.84 in revenue. Not good enough, honestly. And I'll tell you what I did. I actually went to, I posted in an Etsy group, a big Etsy group, and I posted my all-time numbers, and I said how disappointed I was with it. And people in that group, like a couple of them were really good, but there's a couple like really nasty Etsy sellers out there, and they were actually trying to like bully me and call me a troll and like just be complete haters, which I'm used to. I mean, haters exist because they're miserable in their own lives, but yeah, they're like, oh, you have like 1,500 sales after 6 months, and you're upset with that. Like, what's going on? And most people kill for that. We can tell that you're trolling the group now, and blah blah blah. And I'm like, wow, not my intention at all. I'm legit not impressed with the performance of this whole shop. Like, to me, that amount of sales after that amount of time is not enough. So it got me thinking about Etsy in general. And I think I don't know, maybe people's expectations are a lot lower as far as what they want for sales and revenue and all that stuff. Maybe they're happy with like a couple $100 in their pocket every month. Me personally, no way. Like I want these shops to go big and like huge and be the ones that show up on, and I say ones because I have more than one, but be the shops that show up on those spy tools at the top of the heap, right? That's what I want. And I still stand by the only thing that I can't control is, well, I can't control Etsy sending me sales, and I also can't control time. And being just past 6 months old at 1,500 sales, I mean, that's fine, but I'd rather be way, way more than that. So I'd rather be like, I think about 25 times that, to be honest. Anyway, what happened? So this happened. Etsy laid off 11% of its employees. CEO says sales are flat. So let's go here. Etsy news. And, well, there's another one. What is the future of Etsy? So remember, Etsy is a business with a stock, and the stock is listed. And really, Etsy's CEO, his only goal is to get the stock price to go up. Etsy news. Sacks employees, I love that word. Etsy layoffs result of digestion years after pandemic. That's true. I think this is what I saw. So, of course, all CNBC cares about is the stock falling, but stock falls after company lays off 11% of its staff, citing a challenging environment. And so CEO Josh Silverman noted in a letter to employees that Etsy's marketplace has more than doubled in size since 2019, but the revenue has not doubled. And said today's macro environment and competitive realities call for sweeping changes. So that's fine. So they're laying off 11% of their workforce at the height of the holiday season, which is true. Like, man, imagine you're working there and you're one of those people. They're like, by the way, you're fired. What? Like, that sucks. So as the e-commerce giant looks to restructure its business and streamline costs against a very challenging macro and competitive environment, so approximately 225 employees will be cut from the workforce, which will bring the headcount for the core Etsy marketplace to 1,770 people, similar to the company's headcount in 2022 and above 2020 levels. Etsy CEO Josh Silverman noted in a letter to employees that the marketplace is known for selling handmade items and connecting buyers with local artisans across the globe. It's known for that, but that's not what they're doing anymore. In fact, all the handmade zealots on Etsy, some of the sellers are nuts. They're like, I've been here for 45 years and it was great back then, and all these print on demand and digital people can go away. Like, that's legit what they think. Go in an Etsy group and say that you don't sell handmade and you'll get mobbed. Anyway, so it's more than doubled in size since 2019, but the reason was the pandemic. So this guy didn't really plan for that. I guess he thought that pandemic numbers would continue instead of accepting reality that that was a real different situation they were in. So he says, we're operating in a very challenging macro and competitive environment, and gross merchandise sales has remained essentially flat since 2021, meaning they've grown, right? But their sales haven't grown. So really their buyers haven't grown, but the number of shops on Etsy has grown. So that means, look at this. This killed me. This sentence from the CEO. This means we are not bringing our sellers more sales, which is the single most important thing we can do for them. This is 100% true. Etsy today is not what Etsy was even 2-3 years ago. It's completely different. It's completely changed. So, and then he's saying at the same time, employee expenses have grown, even as we have introduced significant cost-cutting measures and adjusted or paused hiring plans. Ultimately, it's not a sustainable trajectory, and we must change it. So good for him for taking the easy way and cutting people, but they could have done other things, in my opinion. The news comes alongside updated fourth quarter guidance, which is all people care about. The company now expects gross merchandise sales to decline between 1% and 2% during the period from the year ago quarter, and revenue to increase between 2% and 3%. Okay. There we go. Shares of Etsy closed 2% lower following the announcement after falling as much as 7% in the day. And then he said Etsy is intently focused on reigniting growth, driving sales for our nearly 7 million sellers, which is the problem right here. This is the problem. This 7 million seller thing is an issue because honestly, I feel that the bulk of those, or the majority of the new ones that came in, are not legit at all. And I think that's why Etsy had to do a payment reserve. I think that's why they had to do all these things on the back end, where I do firmly believe there's a probation period now. I think they're making it so, yeah, you can open it, but we're not going to give you any business at all until you prove to us that you're a legit shop who's been around forever. And every single shop on every single spy tool that you look at says, 3 years old, 4 years old, 5 years old. Like, go look in any niche and you'll see. And I know one goofball complained that I complain in my videos a lot. I do. I'm basically a way too negative a person, but I've also been pummeled by life. So this gives me an outlook where I still do have a sense of humor. And I understand that haters are going to hate. But, 7 million sellers growing that fast? Come on. It's not like a whole bunch of moms in their little nook closet that they built to sell like crocheted baby Yodas suddenly went from 2 million to 7 million. It got the attention of overseas as well, and there are a lot of scammers over. Now, I'm not picking on overseas; they happen everywhere. But the bulk that I've seen are from overseas. Anyway, Delivering value to our stakeholders, we announced that we are reorganizing our internal structure so that we can double down on these efforts, which unfortunately means saying goodbye. Come 2 days after toy maker Hasbro announced it was cutting 1,100 employees. As it grapples with soft sales that have continued into the crucial holiday shopping season, Hasbro has 6,300 employees. So now here's the cool part. Etsy's layoff will cost between $25 million and $30 million, the bulk of which will be used for severance payments, employee benefits, and other related costs, the company said. Over time, it's expected to deliver meaningful operational efficiencies and cost savings and/or cost avoidance. I don't understand how laying people off is going to make it more efficient, but whatever. Expected to be completed. There you go. Etsy's chief marketing officer, Ryan Scott, will be leaving the company, and his position will be consolidated under the chief operating officer role, which is, man, like marketing is one of the most important parts of any business in the world, no matter what. And when you're like, oh yeah, you know what, bye marketing guy, we're going to give that to the chief operating officer who probably knows nothing about marketing. That's really not a good idea at all. That's a bad move, in my opinion. And the chief human resources officer will also be leaving and will be replaced. Vice President of Global People and Talent Energy. Okay. What the heck is a Vice President of Global People and Talent Strategy? Jeez. Like, what do they got? Overlap? They're making up positions now? Yeah, this is just ridiculous. At least they get a severance. But anyway, for us, as Etsy sellers, what does that mean? Not good. Not good at all. It means that we're in for some tough times, and we've already been going through them. I happen to start this challenge probably right at not at the beginning of the bad times, but not at the good times anyway. The good news, on a positive note, things do move in cycles. I don't think Etsy's going anywhere. I think they will be back. I just think that, man, they're down right now, and we all know there are very few posts in like Facebook groups and all that, which I do monitor, that are saying, oh man, I just had a great week, or I just had a great month. It's all like, I'm getting no sales, sales suck, what's happening here? How do I get sales? How do I get more? And, it's a totally different thing. And really, the only constant in life is change. And so things are changing. And you, as a person who's trying to make money with Etsy, you need to accept that, and you need to say, okay, what can I do now to fix this for your own personal gain? And that just means sometimes pivoting, it means expanding, and it means adapting, adjusting, and moving forward. That's exactly what I do all the time, and that's why I've survived over 16 years online, working for myself. So keep following. I'm not shutting the challenge down. I'm going to keep going, and I am going to put more effort into it. It's just we're right before Christmas. I typically don't work much before Christmas anyway, so it's not like the news spurred me to not do much on the store. It's more that it's just time of year. Like, we're a week away from Christmas, so I don't really want to do all that much work. And honestly, a week away, people aren't really buying as much as far as digital products go, that I find, unless they're buying it to make a gift or something like that. And my shop is not in that niche. If you do have a shop that's in that niche where you're supplying like SVG files or files that people can print and then give to somebody, or print and then put on their Cricut, however they do that, to get it transferred to like a t-shirt that they make themselves, that can work. And there are a lot of niches that do work all the way up to Christmas. But as far as like the stuff I'm doing doesn't. And as well, print on demand, the cutoff dates were like a week ago, 2 weeks ago. So you wanted to make sure that people that got their products before Christmas. And if you sell somebody a print on demand product now, odds of them getting it before Christmas are slim and none just left town. So anyway, that's my update for this week. Not quitting. I'm going to try and continue with my plans, which are right here. And I said this last week too. I want to build my own brand with my own paid traffic. And the solution is coming soon, and the solution is here. So if you want to know what the solution is, just ask me in the comments and I'll tell you. Otherwise, have a great day, and we'll see you for the next update. And hopefully I have more to report on the action side. But I'm not sure that I'll be doing much again next week either, to be honest. I'm just going to wait until after Christmas because everybody needs a break. I hope you have a great break. Have a happy holiday, and we'll see you in the next one.